All right, please be seated. I'd like to thank the grace of heaven and the mercy of the masters and the compassion of the grand predecessors, transmitters, everybody to give me this opportunity to talk about this topic, which is the the chapter 3 and 4 of this book called Shower of Wisdom. Okay, so we still have.
Cover looks different.
Yeah, the different. There are different printings, but it's the same stuff. Yeah, this is the older, the new one. We still have some in the front.
We do.
We have a whole bunch, right? Ty, about like a dozen or more.
Just printed 3 minutes.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch. Yeah,
So
okay.
everybody grabs a copy.
That's recent? That's recent?
Yeah. Okay. So it's and these are I got get introduction. They're basically a series of dialogue conversations from our holy teacher over a certain course of period of time. It's not all in one assembly. Okay. I forgot.
10 of them.
Yeah, I think probably 10. Yeah, over a course of a period of time, right? In 10 assemblies, 10. You can say, I don't know if it's Dharma class specifically, during 10. Okay, 10 different meetings or whatever. Okay, gatherings. Okay, sermons. You can say sermons. Okay, so just like Buddha, Buddha when he talked about when he was teaching, his sutras, a lot of his sutras did not occur. Just very few occurred, in one assembly. Okay, Avantasaka Sutra was supposedly over 7 different meetings, and the only difference is the Diamond Sutra and the Nirvana Sutra, which happened in one setting. Okay, one meeting. All right. Okay, so a lot of his sutras occurred over a few years, even. Okay, a few different periods, different places. Okay, all right. So this is what about. So I recommend. I mean, it's because it's in English, and hopefully, those of you who want to cultivate or understand the Tao further, should start reading this. And it's very. I mean, how can I say, the key points in here in this are not ultra profound. We don't. I mean, holy teacher did not approach it, from the perspective of teaching us metaphysics. Okay, so you don't need to have a very very high level of understanding to enjoy to learn from this text. Okay, so it's not super difficult. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's pretty easy. I mean, it's not. Even though, however, at a higher level, you can glean deeper understanding, but that's not the point of this. Okay, so this is very basic. All right, so it's elementary. Okay, so it's not it's kindergarten level. Okay, so it's not talking about Buddha nature, which is more advanced level, right? Okay, like the Diamond Sutra, et cetera, et cetera. All right, okay, so this chapter 3 is basically Holy Teacher saying, let's talk about the steps of cultivating oneself according to the Tao. Tao, it's the Tao, same thing. Tao, just a different phonetic, pronunciation, according to the way. So basically this first couple paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, first page, it's page 21. I mean, if you guys have the book, okay. So basically, Holy Teacher is explaining that, maybe we don't realize it, but we should realize, or we should understand that, there's there's a prior and a post. Okay, that is prior to receiving the Tao. We say receiving the Tao. In this case, you can say receiving the blessing. I.e., knowing what the 3 treasures are. Okay. Prior to that and after that, okay? So prior to that, we can say because we do not know the 3 treasures yet, right? We do not have that. So you can say our fate, our destiny, our fate is already determined by what? By our karma, Okay, so you know, so that's what this sentence means. Okay, all right. So, but after receiving the three treasures, you can say our fate or destiny is in our own hands. Whoa! So that's fantastic. That's fantastic. So I mean, what does that mean? So you know, a very simple, you know, and it's not all inclusive. It's just an example. A simple example would be a person who, sometimes, you know, let's say, you know, let's say their destiny or their fate is telling them it determined that they will, let's say, their life will end at age 50. For example, I'm just saying. But let's say at age 30 or at age 40, they somehow had the affinity to come and receive the blessing, that is the three treasures, and they decided to, whoa, they didn't just say, oh, I received the three treasures, hey, you know, I'm blessed, you know, I'm gonna have eternal life, I'm just gonna go do the same as before, same old, okay? No, they decided that they really became very interested in learning how to change their life or conduct their lives according to this thing called that, okay? And they decided to cultivate, to, you know, to follow the teachings as close as possible, to spread the teachings, to learn. First, you have to learn, then to teach, to speak about it. You know, we say teach, to speak about it, to cultivate, them to follow, to practice, and to spread. Okay, so I'll go into that a little bit detail. Okay, those five phases or sections, doesn't matter. Let's say they did that, then guess what? Lo and behold, they found out. It just somehow miraculously, let's say, you know, they lived to 90, 100 years old, whatever. Okay, so this has happened. We have many stories like that. Now the opposite could be true. That's possible. But this is just an example, because they, after receiving the blessing, they decided to follow up on it, and you can say turn over a new leaf. You know, in Christianity they say, oh, you're born again. You know, you're born again. So they decide to embark on that new journey of life, right? To cultivation, to discover their true self, right? To understand that true self, who's their true person, you know, the Buddha nature, in other words, so essence, true being, and decide that. Then, because that is, you can say, God's or heaven's will, you know, or path, because they are then following or being in accordance or following God, heaven's will, heaven's path, heaven's, you know, direction, or you say aspiration. Okay, then they receive blessings, you know, intangible blessings. One example would be, i.e., you know, instead of predestined to, let's say, to die at 50, their life became extended. Okay, so I mean, that's just one narrow example. Okay. So, and in the, is it in the Analects? Is it in the I forgot which chapter in Analects. Then is it Mencius, or maybe it's Mencius? I forgot. Somebody said, if you are in accordance with heaven's way, right, you will not prosper, but you will continue, right? But if you go against heaven's way, you will be annihilated. Something like that, okay? Something like that, okay? I mean, that's the translation. All right? So that means, you know, okay? So that's, okay? So then, that's why I say that's because, you know, okay, right? We have, this is, damn, yeah, so this is, that basically what this paragraph, right? Fate's determination will conquer. You know, we will be subject to karma, in other words, okay? Because you can say we're ignorant. We're not awakened yet, right, to our Buddha nature, Bodhi mind, right? So we continue to do things same old, right, as before. Yeah.
Just real quick, it's not the issue of what I wanted to say was people are not even there when being awakened, but they're in a state of denial. A lot of people are denying. They know they have this responsibility to do these things, but they're denying, the reality of what's going on.
Yeah, yeah,
Taking steps.
yeah,
So it's not
yeah,
awakening.
yeah.
It's a denial. That
No. Well, yeah. I'm talking about from that one
Yeah,
perspective.
right.
The other perspective, you can give reasons for why they're not awakened. You can say they're denial, they're delusional, they're ignorant, etc., etc. They're lazy, whatever the reasons, right? There are a lot of reasons, okay? Or unwilling, even unwilling. They may know a little bit that, I should do something else, but they still continue. You know what I'm saying? To do same old. You get it? Okay. So there are a lot of reasons, but that's all considered that they're not. That means they're all not awakened. Get it? Because those are all different. You can say factors or obstacles, etc., etc. All right? Okay. So that's the matter. Okay. So basically this now. Okay. So so that's what this chapter is. This paragraph is about. Okay. All right. So, but the key is once we, after we receive the blessing, and we kind of like have that little spark of inspiration, if you will, or maybe awakening or epiphany, whatever, we decide to act upon it, follow through on it, and decide to learn and cultivate. Then you will understand that, destiny is actually in our own hands, because we can change, you can say, the way our conduct we've been doing before, and start, we could say, performing merits. We say, doing good things, saying good things, which, we'll talk about a little bit later, okay, and helping others, guiding others towards the same path, okay, to the same, to transform our, bad habits, bad conducts, or bad tempers into a better one, okay? So that's just a very basic insight. That's really the very basic form of cultivation, okay, which we can talk about later. It's actually in the fourth chapter, but that's okay, okay? So that's right. Now, obviously, that's a basic step, but we still have a long ways to go. Okay, we have to, as we learn, we'll understand that, actually, all the enlightened masters, previous to us or throughout history, you can say, have already set the path, have already established a path for us to follow. So they would be like our role models. Now, we don't have to necessarily create our own path. We have to find our own journey. We have to follow that path, which is based on certain principles, okay, of the Tao. But each of us have our own individual journey to make. Okay, so that's okay. Even though it's the same path, but it's an individual journey. Okay, all right. So that's why, all of us have to enlighten ourselves, because none of the Buddhas or enlightened masters can enlighten us for ourselves. Okay, they can show us the way, right? I.e., that path, but we, each of us, have to take that journey ourselves. Understand? Okay. So now, so that has to now the reason that before receiving the blessing or learning about the Tao or cultivating, the reason why our destiny is, determined or whatever, it's based on causality, causality. Karma is a type of causality, okay, with respect to humans in this case, okay. All right, so that's a separate topic, but basically causality has has couple of main parts. One is the primary cause, which is the seed. You can see it's the seed of, in this case, we say blessings or disaster. It could be good or bad, okay? That's what I'm saying. It could have a good result or bad result. That's what it means, okay? It can derive, okay? Now, and then the result is basically what happens, right? The effect of that seed. Now, the seed is the primary, but then there are the result, when the result manifests or how it manifests, how it comes into being or fruition, depends on not just the seed, which is the primary cause, but secondary causes. Okay, understand? Okay, so use the example of, let's say, plants, right? We plant the seed, right? Let's say we plant apple seed, right? So we say, oh, the result should be an apple tree, right? Right, okay. But before that result, that apple tree can come into being, depends on not just the seed. The seed is necessary. That's why we say necessary condition or 必要条件, right? That's in logic, okay, or math, okay? But it also depends on what? Secondary causes, right, or conditions, okay? Such as what? Well, you need sunlight, right? You need some rain, right? You need some pretty fertile, suitable soil, right? Suitable soil. So those type of conditions, right, will then allow that seed to sprout and grow eventually into an apple tree, right? So those secondary conditions are what we call in logic, sufficient condition or 充分条件. Understand? Sufficient conditions. Make sense? So you need both. Get it? In order from a seed, right? Apple seed in this case, to become a tree. So you need both that necessary condition, i.e. a seed, and sufficient conditions, i.e. those sunlight, rainwater, good soil, etc., right? So you need necessary and sufficient conditions in order to result in a tree. Understand? Example, if I put a seed, I have an apple seed, and I put it in concrete or whatever, or I put it in a desert where there's plenty of sun, but there's no water. Will that seed, apple seed, become an apple tree? Of course not, because it lacks the sufficient condition. Get it? There's a necessary condition. Yeah, you have a seed. Understand? Okay. Make sense? Right? So you need both. Understand? Okay, so that's how results will happen. Now, in terms of respect, we're talking about that's a tree, that's a plant. In terms of humans, we have also primary and secondary causes in terms of how karma plays out. Understand? So let's say the primary, use an example. Let's say in the previous life, or previous life, we did something bad, or it could be good. Doesn't matter, good or bad. Okay. And then now in this life, let's say the conditions are ripe such that, let's say, I'm still very attached to that whatever I did before, right? Or I have a very, how can I say, affinity for certain things. Then those are the secondary conditions, okay, that will then be more likely to result. Get it? In whatever that good or bad. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, and then there's what we call latent and immediate result. So for example, he talks about plenty, like the harvest. Okay, so here. Okay, so if we plant, let's say, peanuts, right? In the ground. So usually let's say we plant, spring in, I don't know, April, whatever. We plant, either watermelon or peanuts or whatever. Then usually in a few months later, right? In a few months' time, given there's sunshine, enough rain, the soil is good, etc. Yeah, by come October, we should be able to harvest peanuts or watermelon, right? So it's pretty short. That's what I'm trying to say. The result will happen fairly quickly, right? Okay, but like I said about peach, apple, it could take many years, right, before it bears fruit, right? So what I'm saying, there's sometimes karma can happen in a very short period from the primary, resulting from a primary cause, right? Or sometimes it may not happen. So that's why we have, like, say, for example, in today's society, some people get away with murder, right? They committed the perfect crime. They actually killed somebody. They didn't get caught. and nobody knows, all these cold cases, all these serial killers. Who knows? God knows what, okay? So in this lifetime, nothing happened to them. They're hunky-dory. They got away scot-free, man. But because the secondary conditions are not available or not around such that they got caught, for example, or brought to justice, or whatever, or face the consequences. But in some future life, it could come into being. Get it? But some people also, we say, hey, how come you're mass murder? And you got caught right away. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, well, too bad. It's understand? Because those secondary conditions are such that, they got caught red-handed. Ooh, so right? So that's what I'm saying. Some could be more immediate, right? And some could be over what? Multiple lifetimes, or maybe multiple cycles. Who knows? Right? That's it. Right? Okay. All right. So that's the way causality works. Okay. So that's basically what this is. And also, obviously, we should know that, if you plant an apple seed, you're going to get an apple. You can't get a watermelon or a peanut, right? So the logic is that, if you do good things or plant goods, do good things either previously or in the present, the expected outcome it should be good results, okay? But if we do bad things, right, then the logical expected outcome is going to be, or result is going to be something that's negative also, okay? All right, so that's the logic. And that's fair. Think about it. That's fair. Because otherwise, if we say we do bad things and we're going to get good results, then why don't we just go around murder and rob and steal and lie and do anything? Doesn't matter, right? So it doesn't make sense, right? So obviously, right? Obviously, right? So that's why, heaven's fair. You do good, you will get blessing, benefits, good results. You do evil, you're going to get bad results, right? So that makes sense, okay? All right. So as part of the cultivation process, we should learn about what we call the 10, some people call it the 10 taboos, the 10 precepts. Okay, they're actually, in Buddhism, we call them the sanye, or the 3 conditions. I think it's called the 3 conditions. All right, which has to do with the senko yi, right, or the body, the mouth, and the mind. Okay, which is that, okay, so with the body, we cannot do these 3 bad things, right? To kill, to steal, and lewdness, lust. It means lust, okay? And then with the mouth, we should not do this, right? There's 4 parts, right? It's part of the 8 Noble Truths, okay? So, it's number 4, I think. Yeah, I think it's number 4. Okay, anyway, that is what? We should not tell lies. We should not gossip. We should not, gossip. We should not slander, and we should not use abusive language. Sorry. Double tongue. Double tongue's like slander, and abusive language. Okay, that means curse. You curse at people. Okay, okay. Profanity. Yeah. This has 5, but anyway, because boasting, it should be lying. Okay, it should be lying. Then gossiping. Gossiping is 绮语, and then stirring is 两舌, and then this is abusive language, which is same as profanity, right? Okay, then that's of the mouth. Then of the mind, there are 3 components, which is this. Okay, 贪嗔痴. We say it's greed, rage, or anger, and I don't know, having bad thoughts. It should be really ignorance, okay, or delusions. Okay, all right. So that's the 3. Those are the 3 categories: the mind, the body, and the mouth that will create all karmas. Get it? Yeah. With the mind, we can create karma, right? We plant the seeds. We have evil thoughts. malevolent thoughts about people, or even good thoughts. It could be good too. I just we tend to focus on the bad stuff because those are taboo. We should not. But we have good thoughts too. Then that will plant good seeds too. Okay, and our mouth, we better be careful what we say, right? So if we say bad things, obviously it's gonna come and haunt us. But if we say good things, it's gonna bless us. Okay, all right. And same thing with what we do. Okay, obviously instead of killing, we have compassion or mercy. Instead of stealing, we have charity or whatever. And instead of lust, we have what we call lust is propriety. Yeah, propriety, right? Okay? Or propriety. Okay? All right? Okay, so then down. Okay, and then also, we also should follow what we call the 5 virtues. This is in Confucius, right? He talked about that all Buddha nature, all humans have this true self which displays, or you can say contains, has these 5 qualities or 5 virtues of benevolence, righteousness, propriety, wisdom, and faith. Okay? All right, so we should manifest that. But we have to learn about ourselves too, right? So that's not to say that people who maybe have not learned don't display this. They do, but at a different level, okay? Because that level, if we do not understand the Tao, or let's say believe in the Tao, at best what we display of this is more or less, I want to say superficial, but more coming from our intellect, our intellectual understanding. Get it? Of what's benevolence, what's righteousness, in other words, it's learned. Get it? Or conditioned. But at a higher level, after we receive the Tao, we should understand that these qualities actually it's innate within our Buddha nature. Get it? And so it does not need to be quote unquote learned or conditioned. Understand? That actually it's naturally this. Okay? Natural. It comes forth naturally or non-conditioned. Make sense? Or Lao Tzu will call it Wu Wei, non-conditioned. Get it? Okay? Or non-qualified. All right? Okay, so that's why we have to learn about our Buddha nature or go back to our Buddha nature. Get it? Okay? Because only if this comes forth unconditionally or non-conditioned or non-qualified, will the blessing, or you can say the merits and virtues, be eternal, be unlimited. Whereas if we just use our intellect and say, the reason why I have to be beloved because the law says that, or whatever, or that, then even though it's good, it's not wrong, it's good, but it becomes limited. Get it? That virtue or merit becomes limited. Understand? Because it's conditioned. Make sense? Okay, so that's why. All right? So that's why we have to learn, we have to learn, okay? We have to understand. All right? Now, unfortunately, before we receive the blessing, for most people, even though maybe a lot of people after this still have not reached that turning point because they chose not to learn, okay, or not to cultivate, we do not understand these principles or this reality, okay? So therefore we are still, how can I say, tied down or bound, okay, by all these, human conditions, i.e., worries, rage, anger, all that, the human condition, right? And that's called what? Suffering. That's what's called suffering, okay? Buddha called that suffering. Get it? Okay? Passions, all that. And then that, unfortunately, will drive additional our karma. Get it? Or create karma, and drive our lives. Become the driver. So no longer we are in control. We're no longer in control. Make sense? So that's why Buddha taught, so if we learn, about our Buddha nature, about this Tao, we'll realize that we're no longer the master. So that's why we have to let go of all these or change, right? Transform our bad habits, bad temper, etc., right, into the good, so that then we can become in control. That is, our Buddha nature becomes in control. Get it? Okay? So that's why. All right? Okay. So, basically, if we could do that or understand that, basically, Holy Teacher is saying that to become a saint or a holy person or really an awakened or enlightened person, it's not that difficult. Okay? It's because an enlightened person is one who practices mercy all the time, and God said that means who's always vigilant and aware. That's the key. I want to drive the point, is that aware of their Buddha nature. Make sense? Aware. So therefore, they're not delusional. Okay? In other words, they're not in denial. Okay? Who's always aware. Okay? That, we have this Buddha nature, and it is our Buddha nature that should be guiding our conduct, our lives. And so it's a type of awareness, right? Which is like, you can say an awakening too. Yeah, okay. So that's you say, beginning steps towards supreme enlightenment. Understand? Okay? So you have to be aware, all right? Now, these are more specific examples. Example, when one, let's say is fairly well-to-do, we should not be miserly, okay? We should not be, stingy. We should be very, magnanimous. Yeah, magnanimous, okay? So we should, help others who are less fortunate. Understand? Okay? That's the proper path. Okay? All right? So actually, when we understand causality a little bit better, or karma, we should realize that the reason why some people are born into wealth or have wealth in this lifetime is because in their previous lifetimes, they did a lot of charity. Yeah, seriously, they did a lot of charity. Okay, a lot of charity. Now, okay, so they, in this lifetime, the conditions such that are ripe or whatever are sufficient, such that then they will then benefit from their previous life's conduct. Right? Yeah.
So it won't be just food, right?
Food deeds.
Good, right?
Oh yeah, something. Yeah, I don't know who did this. I didn't do it.
Speaking of food.
Yeah. Wait.
You
Let's
can
see.
get
Hold
food
on.
deeds, but
He did.
that's very specific.
Yeah.
That's very
And
specific.
that's
Should be
PDF,
food.
so it's
Gee.
that easy to change.
Yeah. I don't understand
You
why.
can't change it. You can't change it. The PDF file.
Yeah.
I have to edit later.
No. But this book says good deeds.
So it's
So I don't know where this came from. Yeah. I can't change this because this is a PDF. But no, in the book it says good deeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Accumulating good deeds. So. Yeah,
Just
I don't understand why. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, well, I haven't looked. I base on this. Okay. So anyway, all right. So just understand that. Okay. All right. So that's okay. All right. Okay. Now, holy teacher. Then wow. Oh man, my God. There's too many things. Yeah. This is what Mencius said. Yeah. Basically, all humans, unfortunately, we have this desire to say, we want to be blessed. We want to be cursed, right? Especially we want to be blessed by heaven or blessed by wealth, fame, power, etc., etc. Now, Mencius said that's a very human type of aspiration. And that's not what we should be striving towards, okay? Because those are type of attachments. And it's those type of desires or aspirations that will lead us to further karma. Get it? Okay? And so the whole point is we have to go beyond it. Okay? So the blessing, the highest blessing is that, which one is that? Well, it's this whole thing right here, man. It's this whole paragraph. Okay? Is that what Mencius is mentioning there, like, generally saying there, with respect to aspiring for blessing, there are two types. One is there's a type most humans wish to be blessed by other people, by recognized by by society, by people, So oh yeah, you are very, you're very smart, or you're very capable, or you're famous, or you're wealthy, or by status. Okay, that unfortunately most people are like that. Okay, whereas Mencius said the people who are truly, how can I say, blessed by humans are not blessed by other people. In other words, they do not need the recognition or platitude or applause of humans. Get it? Okay? So that's the highest level. So for example, just use an example. Jesus, right? Even though, we say today, oh yeah, a lot of people, feel Jesus is, yeah, it's true. But during his time, that's important, right? During his time, he was not recognized by the people, right, of his day as that, oh, he is somebody special, that he has high position, that he is powerful, that he was rich. No, right? During this time, he was a nobody. I would say he was a nobody. Or most people do not recognize him, right? Get it? Right? Same thing with all the Buddhas, even during Buddha's time. Well, even though there were people, there was a group of followers, right, that understood, that realized that, he was something special, that he was. But the whole point is, when we are cultivating or we are, practicing, we should not seek the blessing of other people. Get it? But rather, we should seek the blessing from heaven. That's the ultimate. Okay? Okay? All right? Okay? So, okay. And now, now Holy Teacher is now talking about, well, I don't have time, thank God. He says there are seven steps to what he call to receiving blessing from heaven. Okay? Now, because we're talking about blessing, right? Not from recognition or applause or platitudes or compliments from people. Not that, okay? But to have actual blessing from heaven, okay? Or from the Buddhas, okay? So the first step is, or the first component is, we have to, now this means to purify one's mouth. It doesn't mean to wash our mouths or brush our teeth, okay? It doesn't mean that, okay? All right? It doesn't mean that. That's the physical aspect. There are two components to it. One is, remember I talked about earlier of the three conditions, or the, right, the mind, mouth, and body, right? So the middle one, mouth, right, means that we should not, do those four bad things or say those bad four things, right? Four categories. That's one aspect. Okay, that's the more intangible aspect, yeah, because you can't touch it or see it. But we should not do those things, right? That's one meaning of this. All right, purify one's mouth. Okay, makes sense. All right. Then the other meaning, the more tangible aspect. So that's going out, right? Outside of our mouth, right? When we speak, it goes out, right? Unless you speak to yourself, but some people do. But anyway, so you go out, right? That's the going from you to others, right? Out. Okay. So that's it. Then there's the opposite direction, which is what comes into your mouth. So that means what we eat. Get it? So to purify, the other category, the other half, is basically what we consume, what we eat, what nourishments we take. So that means what? We have to be a vegetarian. Because why? Because we want to display what? Well, there are many reasons, but display compassion, mercy towards living beings, i.e. sentient beings. Not just humans. Humans are sentient beings, that's true. Okay. Sentient beings is a broader category. It includes all animals. Animals that fly in the air, that run or crawl on the ground, and swim in the ocean. Okay? So that means fishes, cattle, pigs, lamb, chicken, and geese, turkey, ducks, whatever, birds, whatever. Okay? So that means we should not consume them either. Get it? Okay? So now there's a separate class that goes into more detail about vegetarian, okay? And that talks about all aspects about the obviously the compassionate side, but also about the health aspects. Okay, but that's a separate detail. Okay, so we don't need to talk about that. But basically, we have to purify one's mouth, i.e., be careful what we say. Don't say bad things. Avoid those four bad things: lying, abusive language, speaking with forked tongue, right, or double tongue, and also gossip or idle talk. Okay, all right, okay, and then also don't try not to consume any meat, okay, or kill animals. All right, okay, so that's basically it. All right. So basically, he's saying that there are benefits, okay? Benefits to not consuming meat, etc., etc. All right? Okay? All right? Okay. And then the second one, because I'm moving forward, second one is so the first one is basically more individual, it's more internal with yourself, right? Then the second one is to help guide other people, i.e. to teach. This is the part of teaching or guiding, right? Helping others to learn about the proper way, okay? About the way towards enlightenment in this case, all right? Okay? So now, Holy Teacher is saying that, to ferry people, it means to guide people, to guide, ferry, the reason why we use the ferry, because in Buddhism, they talk about paramita, which means to reach the other shore, i.e. we are, or we are in this ocean of suffering, of the sea of suffering, right? Four Noble Truths. First Noble Truth, Buddha said, life is suffering, okay, basically suffering. So we want to reach the shore of, in this case, of reincarnation, i.e., of enlightenment, in other words, okay, which is paramita, times reach the shore. So Buddha, that's the metaphor that Buddha used. So that's why we say to ferry. It means to help other people attain enlightenment and therefore not have to reincarnate again. Okay, so that's the ultimate. Okay, so and that's the way of heaven. That's heaven's aspiration. Heaven's aspiration for all sentient beings, because we all have that Buddha nature. We all have that innate essence that is absolute, or in that from Dharma Dhatu, that we, that because of karma, right, and ignorance, okay, or non-enlightenment, we end up via karma being reborn constantly in this phenomenal world, in this world of suffering. Okay, all right. So there's a term. Those people, we can say, that are guiding or trying to ferry people, towards enlightenment, are called bodhisattvas, or in this case, living bodhisattvas. Sorry. Okay. All right. So that's, you can say that's a term. It's called living bodhisattvas. Okay, because when we use the term bodhisattva, it's people that they are spiritual beings. Okay, but there are also physical beings we call living bodhisattvas. Okay, all right. This paragraph basically is the same thing. Okay, that we want to transcend. When we say ferry people, to guide people to reach the shore, it's to help them transcend or that they do not no longer have to reincarnate constantly, okay, or incessantly. All right, okay. All right, so that's the second one. Now the third point is to be preacher. It means teacher. It means person who guides others to reach the shore, right? To reach the enlightenment shore. Okay, that is to spread the teaching, right? To help others, right? Okay, etc., etc. All right. So it just means that. So in order to become a teacher, one has to what? Learn. One has to learn, right? We have to understand what is the proper way, what is the Tao, what is our Buddha nature, etc., etc. What is a Dharma? What is the true teaching, right? So we have to learn too, okay? So in order become a teacher first, we also have to learn. All right, learn about Buddha nature, etc. Okay, so all right, so that's the other one. Okay, then let me go to the next one. This is important. To set up a sanctuary. What's a sanctuary? A safe haven. You can say a safe harbor, right? From the bitter, violent, storm-swept ocean, right? The highs and lows of the waves. That rather we can create a safe harbor, where the ships can stay ashore safely and not sink in the deep ocean, right? And using the lighthouse, which is as a guide, as to teach them, to show them the way, all right? Okay, to the safe harbor. Now, what does sanctuary? In more practical terms, it means to set up a temple. To set up a temple, okay, White Era. Now, what is the White Era temple? Right here, okay? This is what a White Era sanctuary, a temple is. It has all these things, okay? We say 10. 10 is just part of it. It's a partial list, but for our purposes, this comes from his, okay? It comes from this, all right? This thing. You guys never seen it, okay? It's what a White Era temple is. This is from a Holy Teacher's words also, okay? So this is in Chinese, but here's the translation in English, okay? Holy Teacher says the White Era temple is a place for introducing what? Paradise. When I say heaven, paradise, I'm talking about not the celestial heaven or temporal heaven, but the Dharmadhatu, okay? Dharmadhatu, which is the some words called a pre-heaven, absolute heaven, we can call it that way, where we originally came from, in other words, okay? Where our Buddha nature came from, okay? All right? Then it's also a place to do this, right? I.e., for example, conduct the three treasure ceremony, etc., etc. All right? Okay? Example, all right? That's the universal salvation of three realms. Okay, I don't need to go. Then a place also to improve the learning of, we say literally means Buddha. The translation in Chinese, it's right here. 学府的改良所, right? Okay. So, but it means the Tao, okay? About the Buddha nature. You can say Buddha nature, about the truth, etc. Okay, absolutely. And also it's a place for practice of achieving enlightenment, right? We learn, right? We conduct classes. We help teach, right? Guide other people to help people achieve enlightenment, right? Etc. Okay? And also it's a refueling station. Yeah, it's a gas spot, right? For virtuous merit. So that we can achieve virtuous merit. Okay, we can, okay, all right? And it's also a blessed place. Literally means happy land, okay, for multitudes avoiding calamities, right? Like I said, remember it's a safe harbor, right? Okay, from so many, disasters and calamities outside in this, into the world today, right? Okay, and it's also a joyful place, okay? It's a happy land. Remember I say it's a happy land. It's a good place. It's a good place. It's a holy place, okay, of Buddhas, because all Buddhas are joyful. You know that, right? That's part of the, if you want to go more advanced, Mahaparinirvana Sutra talks about the four virtues from the absolute realm or reality or Dharmadhatu perspective. That is, it's called le, joy, happiness, joy. Okay, 常乐, permanence. It's in the Buddha. It's in your Buddha nature glossary list, but I don't want to go into too much details. But that's what it is. Okay, because our true Buddha nature has no sorrow, because we are free. We are actually free. We are liberated from what? The sea of suffering, right? So therefore there's no sorrow, no suffering, right? Okay, so anyway, all right. And then it's also a peaceful and pure place. We call it, literally it means Brahma Loka. Brahma Loka is part of one of the highest levels in the realm of form, right? You should have that outline, right? That it was in a class that we talked about the 10 Dharma realms, right? It's part of the 10 Dharma realms, okay? Brahma Loka. Brahma means, in Hinduism, it means that they're like deity. They're like a deity, similar to the Western concept of, Zeus or Jupiter, whatever, those gods or whatever, okay? Loka means their abode, their where they reside, okay? Their residence, okay? All right? So it's a pure and peaceful place of renunciation and reflection. Renunciation meaning that we relinquish all our worldly desires. Understand? Okay? Right? Okay? And self-reflection. Reflection of our what? Buddha nature. Okay? All right? And then it's also a place of relieving the stresses of the cells of that. Yeah. A place that, because it's a joyful place, a blessed place, a refueling station for virtue. We come to the temple to not to have to worry about all those vexations, afflictions, right? Defilements of the human realm, right? Of the worldly realm, okay? And also, it's a school of higher learning for fostering or nurturing our moral character, right? Okay, so that's what a sanctuary is, okay? All right, so go into that. That's also, number 5, okay, to be a pioneer of the Tao. In other words, to spread the teachings, right? Or to show the way in places where there is none, right? There's none. I.e. no sanctuary or nobody's talking about it, okay? So because we want to help every sentient being, okay? All right, so and that's one of the highest merits, okay? And also we want to not leave or be separated from the temples, but rather to learn and to serve, to work within the temple, okay? What the heck, okay? To work in the temple, all right? So that's what it is, okay? And that's, okay, it doesn't matter, I mean, that's too much, okay? Because of time. And then the last one is to, not only to be associated with a temple, okay, or serve and conduct our practice with the temple, but also we have to conduct the 3 types of donations, right? It's called 财施、法施、无畏施, or meaning the donation or charity, giving of material things. It doesn't have to be money. It could be just material things, okay? And then learn to what? Give teachings to other people, i.e. to teach, to show others the way, right? To teach about classes, dharma, topics, etc., about the Tao, okay? And then all others, the third category is all others, not related to the first 2 categories, right? So that means what? If you want to do some things, you have some time, free time, you could come and clean the temple, help clean up the temple, or help work in the kitchen, right? Or help bring people to the temple, right? Now those are different methods, okay? So those are types of donation, because we say it's a donation because it is something that you do. I mean, you give to others, right? We say we give to others, right? Or you help others, okay? Understand? Okay. Now, the key is we should do this, though. There's a catch here, is that we should do this without condition, i.e. specifically without expectation of rewards. Get it? Okay, we should do. Now, some people do it with expectation. It means that doesn't mean that they have no merit. They will get merit, but it just becomes limited merit. Get it? Okay, so it's called 福报. Okay, remember we talked about causality, right? It became conditioned. So we should do this unconditionally, without condition. That means that's called virtuous merit. That means that merit or that benefit would be unlimited, or not, unlimited and non-conditioned. All right, and it'll reside. It'll be with us for eternity. Get it? Okay. All right. Okay. So all right. So that finishes the first section 3, chapter 3. Okay. So basically, we should just understand what are we done? Okay. Okay. So basically, hopefully, Buddha said that as long as we can bravely face and overcome that, and will acquire that. Only those who can be assigned a task. Okay. So we should take those 7 steps as part of our model or guide, all right, towards cultivation. Okay, because of time, I have to end it here. I thank the blessing, and the things that I did not say, I beg for the Buddha's forgiveness. Thank you.